everybody. I'm coming at you from my garage workshop. It is Sunday, November the 27th, about 1:30 p.m. Happy birthday, Alina. You know who you are. And happy birthday to my brother. His birthday's tomorrow. Today we're going to just take a quick look at my recording setup. I've used this setup for the last couple of videos, and I think it's pretty affordable, relatively speaking. It's portable, which was the goal that was achieved. And yeah, we'll be taking a look at that a little bit later today. All right, bye-bye. Okay, this is the recording setup. As I stated earlier, it's relatively affordable and portable to boot. How cool is this? I'm outside. No AC wall current present. However, before we get into all that, take a look at this. And here's the reveal. Wow, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame 2022. I am one lucky son of a gun. To the man I can only reveal as Mr. D. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, let's get back to the recording setup. So why do this when I already have a home studio? Well, two reasons. From time to time, I'll get comments where players ask me how I get such a nice bass tone in my videos. I more or less always answer the same way. The secret is recording direct. Bass is hard. Whereas an acoustic guitar, for example, might very well benefit from room reflections, bass guitar is absolutely terrible sounding in most domestic rooms. You'd be better off using a nice amp and recording outside. That's not very practical though. The first reason, therefore, is to show all of you out there who are just starting out and likely don't have much of a budget how to actually record direct without a dedicated audio interface and a dedicated DAW, also known as a DAW, which stands for Digital Audio Workstation. All you need is your cell phone. In today's day and age, I'll make the safe assumption that you have one. You don't need anything fancy. I'm using a Pixel 2 here, which is downright ancient and technically unsupported by Google at this point. The second reason for putting this setup together is that I've really been wanting to ignite my channel once again. I've not been very good at creating enough content at all. My idea here is to utilize this setup as a secondary rig that I mostly use to record YouTube shorts. I'm hoping to develop it to the point where, if nothing else, I can upload at least one per week with minimal to no editing necessary. More on the editing later. Let me show you how this is hooked up. Since I'm recording with the very device I'm trying to show you, I'll put in some B-roll to show you that side of things. At a minimum, you'll need the aforementioned cell phone. That's up here. A USB mixer like this one, the ART USBMIX4, currently about $110. If you go with this mixer, you're going to connect them together with a USB Type B to Type C cable, which is this cable here currently carrying our live transmission. That's the B side. That is a slightly unusual cable to have around. So before you purchase one, I'll recommend another way later. All right, everybody, we're inside now, but I assure you we're still completely portable. No power cables here. And I put out some stuff here for you guys to enjoy. And for those of you who imbibe, cheers. This Labatt Blue is quite delicious. All right. So I had just explained the mixer and the cable and the unusual cable it uses, but maybe let's not get it and I'll show you another way later. Okay, so now you'll need a way to hear yourself and some kind of microphone. I recommend you make your life easy and invest in a headset, as it will have both. I find that lots of musicians are also gamers, so maybe you already have one. Just make sure you use an analog headset. A USB headset is not going to work for this setup. As you can see here, you plug in the headset here, so a USB headset is not going to work. I'm not using the microphone part of this particular headset. I prefer to use my own mic because I like the way that one sounds. That's not necessary, of course. Okay, so obviously you're going to need your instrument and a 1/4-inch lead, which you're going to hook up here. In my experience, your guitar will sound better with the high Z button engaged. Now you set up your gains. Set up your gains here. Just make sure that clip light isn't lighting up like crazy every single time you play or speak. That's a definite sign you have it too hot. Very important. After setting these gains for your mic and your instrument, you're going to need to set this main mix level fairly high. With my particular setup, it's all the way up here, and that's kind of a lot. I mean, I feel a bit uncomfortable having it up that high, but that's what seems to work best for this particular setup. So your mileage may vary, of course. And with all that hooked up, you simply fire up your phone's camera, switch it to video mode, and record. Pro tips. Mute your ringtones and notifications before recording, or you will hear them. I recommend a free app called Open Camera. It will use external audio without a problem when present. I can't recommend a similar app on the Apple side of things. Perhaps somebody can leave a helpful suggestion in the comments. Maybe it's unnecessary. With an iPhone, maybe there's a way to switch to external audio just using the built-in camera app. I don't know. I just know that on the Android side, the easiest way to get video to use an external input like we're doing here is to use that Open Camera app. And it's a great app regardless. It's a no-brainer. It's free. All right. Now, some quick notes. If you already have an XLR microphone kicking around, maybe you have a beat up SM58 or something like that, you can use it here in channel 1, just like I'm using this mic here, this headset mic. You can do phantom power, so if you have a condenser mic, you can go ahead and use that too. Now, here is where things get interesting with this little USB mixer. This section here allows you to pipe back in the audio you're currently playing on the phone into your recording. And you set the level here with this computer knob. Okay. You will also need to have this switch over here in the middle position so that it records both of your inputs and the phone's audio together. By the way, this knob is labeled computer because you can also hook this up to a computer with no drivers needed, just like the phone. As a matter of fact, that would be its primary use. Something to record live streams or record Zoom calls with, etc. But we're repurposing it here in a way. If you look at my last video called Harvest for the World, Love for AT, that's AT for our beloved Andy Taylor, the loopback function is exactly how I created that play along. I'll leave a link in the description below, as well as links to the products I've mentioned. I'm not an Amazon affiliate or anything like that. They're just for your convenience. And here's where I tell you of the 3 negative things I've experienced whilst using this setup. First, though the loopback function works well, most phones don't let you do a split screen easily. This means that in order to start a recording, a play along, let's say, you'll need to start the audio you're playing along with, let's say from YouTube, Spotify, or whatever, leave it playing, then fire up your camera app to start your recording. It's not the end of the world, it's just an annoying workflow. One workaround would be to forget about the loopback and simply plug in an MP3 player here. There's an auxiliary MP3 in input just for that purpose. And you can use that for your play along audio. Second, and this is not a knock on the mixer itself, Running a setup like this drains your battery like crazy. Remember when I said don't buy this cable? Or maybe don't buy this cable anyway. Well, that's because I recommend you get this little thing called an OTG adapter. Looks like this. And if we zoom in, we can see that it has two inputs and one output that you would plug back into your phone. With this, you can simultaneously charge your phone whilst connecting it to your mixer. But then we're not portable, you say? Well, that's when you get a power brick like this one. This is more like a power stick, kind of like a butter stick of power. Anyway, and with this, you could still be portable because this is powering the phone through this cable through the OTG adapter. In this case, it's just a standard USB-C to USB-C. This one's angled, but it doesn't matter. And then using just a box standard USB-A to USB-B cable, which again, this mixer takes a B connection, you're in business. And I can almost guarantee you that unless you're recording extremely short videos, well, I shouldn't say it that way, but if you're recording, you know, quick videos, you know, 5 minutes, and you know, you're well rehearsed, yeah, you can get it done just on battery power. But if you do 2, 3, 4 takes, I guarantee you you're going to start running into battery issues unless you have a brand new kick-ass phone. All that. Okay, anyway. So, third, storage space. This is why I had to come inside. I was out there, the phone flashed something quickly. I couldn't really read it, but then I soon realized, as my phone shut down, that it was probably running out of storage space. So I had to come inside, give it a fresh reboot, do a little recycle bin deleting and all that, and we're back in business. By the time I got all of that done, it was getting cold outside, and I figured, hey, let's just finish this off inside. So, now you've recorded your video. What's next? Well, if you're really good, you could probably upload your creation directly from your phone up to YouTube or whatever your platform of choice is. The reality, however, is that you'll want to incorporate some B-roll or doctor up your audio in some way. So you're still going to need to edit your video in a computer. My Pixel automatically syncs my videos up to photos.google.com. I download them from there, throw them in Vegas, my video editing software. I perform the edits, compose a video, and then I render it out to one final MP3 for upload. Again, with enough rehearsal and thorough planning, you could very well upload your video directly from your phone. That's actually one of my goals for the near future with these YouTube shorts. That was a bit more in depth than I planned. However, I prefer to give a thorough explanation than leave you wondering. If you still have questions, please leave a comment. I hope that I can inspire you, at least a few of you out there anyway, to get your ass off the couch and start making stuff. All right. Let's have one more send-off. Myself and Nesco here wish you a very merry evening. Cheers. Ow! Hi, Pepper. What you doing?